Hello, and welcome to Buckman's Model Mania. Today, after a long hiatus, we're going to start working on the Batmobile again. I do have quite a few parts. I just stopped building it because the shipping issues were really starting to get me down and really irritating me. So after not getting issues and things taking forever to get here, I actually have paused most of my subscriptions. So, that being said, let's get to work on stage 33 of the Batmobile. What we have here, they call it phase 33 in the book. But what we have here is more parts to the, I want to say it is it's the rear suspension, because you've got the differential right there. And everything is in a bubble pack, which is kind of nice. That means that I shouldn't have lost any parts. Okay, let's be careful getting stuff out. We have the leaf springs. Let me move this over. We have 4 nuts, 3 EM screws, two U-bolts. And I remember way back last time I did this, I was very impressed with the fact that these U-bolts are actually threaded. I believe this is the shock absorber mount, and they're calling this the shock absorber rod. And these have all been in the garage, so if it's metal, it's ice cold. This is this is metal. All the parts in this issue are actually metal, and I believe, looking at this, the leaf springs are actually made up of separate pieces of metal. Kind of cool. But also, nothing distinguishes it right now as part of the Batmobile. So first thing we're gonna do. First thing we're going to do is mount this onto the axle. Sorry. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it there like that. Make sure that I'm mounting it, if not 100% the correct way. It should be the correct way, but if it's not, it matches the other side. And if it's not, I'll find that out later on. So we put that on, set that on there. Then we take the shock mount. We put it on here like this and secure it with, there they are, an EM screw. And if you remember from back when I last worked on the Batmobile, I'm not using a container to keep the screws anymore. I'm just leaving them in the bags because you end up with about 1 billion screws if you do enough part works. And you end up with all kinds of little screw boxes. Not doing that anymore. So this screw has to go in here like this. And I dipped it in the oil. If you remember right, the oil is for it's to assist in cutting threads into the die cast. Man, it's been a while since I've done this. It's being a little bit of a pain. There we go. That should do. Let's get the bigger screwdriver. In the interim, by the way, since the last time I did videos, I am now monetized on YouTube. What that means for you is that nothing yet. I have not come up with any new content, any special content yet for when I do videos. I am thinking about starting to do reviews of kits in my stash and making them members only. Oh, need that special tool. Hang on, I will be right back because I forgot all about that special tool here to tighten those little nuts down. Okay, I am back, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each of these U-bolts after I get the nuts out. I'm going to dip each of the U-bolts, each of the ends, in a little bit of oil just to help the process. And I'll put the U-bolt on here like this. Take one of the nuts, if I can. Getting older, my fingers are not quite as dexterous as they used to be. Come on. Let's see if I can get this thing started. Actually, what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to get all of them started before tightening any of them all the way down. That one started. I almost feel like putting the nut in here first might work a little bit better. And of course, I'm missing one or two extra hands to be able to do everything at once. Okay, it's kind of in there, so let's see if it's going to start on there. And I don't know if you saw what I just did. Something I learned back in my days as an Air Force aircraft mechanic. When you're starting a screw, something you might consider doing when you're starting a screw or a nut, something you might consider doing to not strip it out, especially if it's going into metal. Ooh, that would have been bad. Is you turn it backwards first. So instead of trying to tighten it right off the bat, you turn it to the left until it clicks. Once it clicks, that means that the two inclined planes, that's all a screw thread is an inclined plane, but that means that they've meshed, and then you should not have any issues at all tightening the screws down. This one is going to be a little bit of a pain in my behind. Come on, get on there. And the reason you do that is you don't want to strip it out. Because if you strip out the nut or the screw that you're working with, then it's not going to hold, basically. It's not going to hold tight, and it can come loose really easily. Just a little tidbit from a former aircraft mechanic. Okay, so tightening up cross corner. By the way, if you've missed my content, like and subscribe, just to let me know that you've missed the Batmobile. Okay, so there we've got the 4 nuts on there. The screw that actually it's not the only thing holding it, but it's doing more of the hold than the U-bolt is. Those U-bolts are really small. I could easily, with this tool, snap them off. So that's got that on there. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the shock, and we're going to kind of match it up with this one here. It's going to go on here. It's going to be put on with an EM screw. So we're going to dip the screw into oil, and then we're going to put it through the shock rod, is what they call it. Shock absorber rod. Unless there's a part that slides over the top of that, it's going to be basically just the shock. And I think the way they usually do part works, there will probably be some sort of a spring or something that goes over top of this. But we'll find out later on. Okay. One thing I did not do, and I probably still need to at some point, is replace my screwdrivers. little bit rusty. Me, not the parts. A little bit rusty on doing these things. And so there you've got the shock absorbers on there. We've got the leaf springs in place. And that, my friends, is all there is to do in this stage. Hope you're enjoying the build. I'm getting back into it. I'm not going to say I'm enjoying it immensely because there's a reason why I quit for a while. Because, you know, I enjoy the build. I don't enjoy the wait for Fanhome to send stuff. End of story. So, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and be notified of any time I post new content. Leave a comment. I will respond. I love comments. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Have a great day. Have a great day tomorrow. Have a great Christmas. I'm filming this a couple of days before Christmas, so have a great Christmas. And if you're seeing this later, hope you had a great Christmas in 2024. Have a happy new year, and I will see you in the next video or stream.
Model mania, hard work models, plastic modeling, wooden models. Workman's model mania, hard work models, plastic modeling, wooden